One of the jobs that we have to do is remove the carpet, not just in case we need to replace the carpet or to give it a deep clean, but also to remove the carpet allows us access to the underside of the bolts which attach the computer onto the deck. So we're going to show you how to remove that. It's very straightforward. The best thing to do is just use a flat bladed screwdriver and just go around and take off all of the 8 bolts which hold the carpet on, as can be seen here. Once all the bolts have been removed, it's simply just a case of lifting up the carpet and exposing the deck underneath. The tools used for removing the computer are going to be a 10mm socket set and a 4mm Allen key. Removing the battery is as simple as pulling the 2 levers and removing the electrical connector. You may require a computer change for reasons such as a software update. Just take your time, follow the procedures, and you'll be fine. We start first and foremost by removing the computers from the Golfskate Caddy deck. These are the 8 units that we're going to undo. The computers are split computers controlling both the rear and the front motor accordingly. It is important that you ensure at all times that all the cables are connected when replacing the computers back onto the Golfskate Caddy. Failure to connect all of the cables correctly may result in one of the motors not working. Once we have removed the nuts from the top of the computer, it's simply just a case of wiggling the modules up a little bit just to release them from their embedded seat. So once the computers and the cables have been exposed, systematically just go through and remove each of the computer connectors in turn. The computer connectors are one-way connectors and cannot be connected with the wrong reciprocating cable. All that is left is to remove with a small Phillips screwdriver. Once the earth wire has been removed, you are free to replace the computer system. When replacing the new computers, always make sure that all the connectors between the 2 computers are actually connected. They should come zip tied to ensure that they do not come apart by themselves. This is a good time just to check the cables to make sure there are no wear and tear or damage. Replacing the computers is now fairly straightforward. You need to ensure that this part of the computer faces forward. This part of the computer has the ledge to catch the battery and also the battery connector. First and foremost, connect the earth cable back up here. There are 2 cables which are identical in their end fittings. One has written on there meter. This is to power the LCD screen. The LCD screen is the cable which is not adjacent the main phase electrical cable. It is the one in the middle, and you connect the meter cable to this unit here. If you connect to the wrong cable, no damage will occur to your Golfskate Caddy, but your Golfskate Caddy will not power up. Simply then connect the other cables, taking your time to ensure that they all connect correctly. So replacing the computers now is just a case of gently putting the modules over the bolts, ensuring everything fits nice and neatly. The trick with this is to tuck in all the cables and just take your time. Make sure that all the cables are tucked in accordingly. If for some reason the modules don't feel like they're slipping in, then you just need to look and readjust the cables. Once you have inspected the modules and ensure that all the cables are seated correctly and no cables are pinching, you can simply just reapply the washers and the bolts to all 8 of the lockdown bolts. With the Golfskate Caddy on its back and you supporting the underlying bolt with an Allen key, it's just simply a case of tightening up all of the bolts on top of the computer. Again, don't over tighten, you just want to tighten firmly. There's no merit in stripping the thread. The next job I'm going to show you, should it be required, is the changing of the receiver. The receiver is the PCB board which receives the signal from the controller and transmits that to the computer. Sometimes, due to some damage, there may be an indication that that will need to be changed. If that's the case, it's a fairly simple procedure. As you can see here, the receiver is located just in front of the motor and in front of where the battery would sit. It is easily removed by removing the 4 screws with a Phillips head screwdriver. The receiver is waterproofed inside the casing, and simply to remove, we just unclip this little connector here to remove. There are no usable service parts on the receiver. For some reason you need to change it, just simply swap over for a new unit and disregard the old one. Replacing the receiver is simply a process of plugging back in, ensuring a nice solid connection, and screwing back in to the fiberglass deck in the same holes. Replacing the durable carpet after you have taken off the computers is a very simple procedure of just laying back on the deck and screwing in with a flat blade screwdriver. However, when you have the carpet off, it is probably a good idea, should you wish, to wash it down with just cold water and a hose and allow it to dry naturally before replacing. Simply line all the holes up, screw back in.